Germany's full-throttle investment in China, folks, is shaping up to be a pivotal moment in international economics. Make no mistake about it. We're here to unpack the story of why German businesses, in the face of caution from the European Union and their own government, are diving deeper into the Chinese market. Let's dive deep into what's happening and why this is such a high-stakes game. Now, the European Union, they're raising alarms left and right, telling countries, hey, maybe don't put all your eggs in one basket, especially if that basket is China. But here's the deal. German companies aren't just ignoring this advice, they're doubling, even tripling down on their commitments. And why? Because the allure of China's vast market is too tempting, too lucrative to pass up. Let's talk numbers, because they tell a heck of a story. In the early months of 2024, German businesses invested a whopping 2.48 billion euro in China. Fast forward a bit, and bam, nearly doubled to 4.8 billion euro in just the next quarter alone. By mid-year, we're seeing investments surging to 7.3 billion euro. Folks, that's not just growth, that's an explosion of confidence in the Chinese economy. And who's at the forefront? Our auto giants. Audi's not just making cars, they're pioneering electric vehicles right in the heart of China. Mercedes-Benz and BMW, they're not just selling luxury, they're planning to power it, promising to set up a network of 1,000 supercharging stations across China by 2026. But it's not just about the auto industry. Look at Zeiss, a titan in optoelectronics. They've gone ahead and opened their biggest quality center in Guangdong. What does this tell us? It's clear. German firms are betting big on China, betting that the rewards will outweigh the risks. Yet, we've got to ask the tough questions. What about the risks? With political tensions simmering, supply chain uncertainties, and the EU's nervous glances, could this bold strategy backfire? Could Germany find itself on shaky ground if the global political winds shift? I have a simple favor to ask. If you're finding this discussion interesting, please give it a thumbs up. Your likes and comments mean a lot to us and help others find this content. If you haven't already, consider watching the whole video to support our channel. Your engagement is crucial and enables us to keep providing detailed analyses of global events. Thank you for being a part of our community. You won't believe what's happening with German companies in China. Here's the scoop. These companies, they're not just making money over there, they're plowing it right back into the market. Last year alone, they raked in a whopping 19 billion euros, and more than half of that reinvested right back into China. They're going all in, betting big on local production to capture the hearts and wallets of China's booming consumer base. It's a bold strategy, but let's not forget the big picture here. While these businesses are diving into China headfirst, the German government, led by Chancellor Olaf Scholz, is on edge. They're waving red flags, urging companies to diversify, spread their investments. Sounds reasonable, right? European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen is singing the same tune. Don't put all your eggs in the China basket. But here's the kicker. German companies, they're not really listening. The allure of the Chinese market, especially for those in the auto industry, is just too powerful to pass up. And it's not just about selling more cars. With Chinese auto brands stepping up their game, German companies are setting up shop right in China to stay competitive and streamline their supply chains. Friedel and Strack from Germany's main business lobby, BDI, he's saying companies are focusing on local operations to maintain their edge. Despite Berlin's cautious stance, there's a real buzz among German firms about China's economic prospects. Get this, a recent survey by the German Chamber of Commerce and Industry found that 53% of German businesses are planning to boost their investments in China in the next few years. And it's not just the auto giants either. We're talking machinery, industrial equipment, electronics, chemicals, mobility sectors, all gearing up. What's really eye-opening is the contrast with the global scene. While German firms are doubling down in China, other international investors pulled out a record $15 billion in the second quarter of 2024. That's a huge pullback. But German companies? They're staying the course, driven by the potential for profit and the need to adapt to China's dynamic market. So folks, the question we gotta ask, are German companies playing it too risky, or are they just ahead of the curve? Either way, They're making some bold moves that could shake things up in the global economy. Amid all the talk about de-risking and pulling back from China, the big question looms: can German companies realistically shift their production elsewhere? Sure, there's buzz about Southeast Asian countries like Indonesia, Malaysia, Thailand, the Philippines, and Vietnam stepping up as alternatives. But a report from the Konrad Adenauer Foundation throws some cold water on that idea. Yes, these ASEAN economies have potential, but they're nowhere near ready to replace China as the world's manufacturing hub. That's just the reality. The German government, folks, they're in a real pickle. They're trying to diversify economic ties without completely cutting the cord with China. It's like they want to have their cake and eat it too. But pulling away from China, that's not going to be a walk in the park. Germany is tangled up with China's economy more than any other EU country, and stepping back from such a lucrative market is a tall order. Let's talk numbers. China isn't just a big deal for Germany, it's huge for the entire EU. China tops the list as the EU's largest trading partner, and almost half of all EU exports are linked directly to German companies. In 2022, Germany's trade with China was a staggering 229.5 billion yuan. Compare that to just 47.8 billion yuan with the ASEAN countries. That gap, it's massive. It shows just how tough it's going to be to shift those economic dependencies. Now, with all the recent trade tensions, the EU's starting to shift gears. The European Commission isn't just sitting back anymore. They're scrutinizing Chinese investments and even slapped tariffs on Chinese electric vehicles. It's clear they're looking for a better balance between cooperation and competition as the geopolitical thermometer rises. Germany's in a real tough spot. They've got to balance their economic interests with sticking to EU policies that address the not-so-small issues like China's ties with Russia and its stance on Taiwan. It's a delicate dance, especially with the economic ties deepening by the day. And here's where it gets even trickier. Human rights concerns and geopolitical tensions, particularly regarding Taiwan, are part of this complicated mix. If China were to escalate things, say, with a move on Taiwan, it could spell disaster for German investments, risking billions. Folks, Eurointelligence, a top consultancy, has thrown a serious warning flag on Germany's deep dive into China, calling it a subprime risk. That's right, they're likening it to those shaky bets on the US mortgage market that sparked the 2008 financial crash. As China muscles up geopolitically, Germany's snug ties with Beijing are sparking major questions about its alignment with European and American allies. Looking forward, it's absolutely critical for Germany and the EU to craft a sharp strategy to tackle the complexities of their economic ties with China. Ignoring China's mammoth role in global trade just isn't an option, but Germany's got to smarten up its game plan. The strategy? It's all about balance. Germany needs to keep a strong foothold in China while also exploring fresh avenues in rising ASEAN markets. German businesses should be giving their supply chains a good hard look, thinking about the benefits of spreading their operations more broadly. This isn't just about reducing risks, it's about seizing opportunities in a world where geopolitical tensions are on the rise and the economic landscape is ever evolving. Germany's decision to double down on its relationship with China, despite all the warnings and increasing trade tensions, really highlights the tightrope they're walking between chasing economic gains and navigating geopolitical minefields. As German firms dig their heels in deeper with China, they've got to remain agile, ready to pivot as the global stage shifts. So, what's your take? Will Germany's big bet on China deliver a jackpot, or are they flirting with disaster? Chime in with your thoughts below. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more cutting-edge analysis. Catch you in the next one. Stay sharp, stay informed.